Chapter 1, Clinical Overview. The Lapex 2000 BCS utilizes low-level cold laser technology for spot fat reduction, inch loss, and body contouring in almost any area of the body. To understand how this works, it is important to understand how fat is stored in the body. So where is the fat? This is a fat cell, otherwise known as an adipocyte. Depending on a person's physiological condition, adipocytes store fat derived from a person's diet and metabolism, or break down stored fat to supply fatty acids and glycerol to the body to be used as energy. These metabolic functions are regulated by several hormones, including insulin, glucagon, and epinephrine. Tissue that is composed of adipocytes is called adipose tissue. The location of the adipose tissue determines its metabolic profile. Adipose tissue located beneath the abdominal wall is called visceral fat. Adipose tissue located below the skin but above the abdominal wall is called subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat and the adhesions between the fat cells are what cause the dimpled appearance of cellulite in both men and women. The Lapex 2000 BCS was designed to specifically target subcutaneous fat, reducing the appearance of cellulite, resulting in inch loss and body contouring. Lipids are broadly defined as any fat-soluble, naturally occurring molecule, such as fats, oils, and cholesterol. Lipids are an integral part of our daily diet, but should be consumed in proper proportions. Unsaturated fats are healthier than saturated fats, but must not exceed 30% of our daily caloric intake. This is about 67 grams per day, based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Common unsaturated fats are derived from oily fish, such as herring, tuna, sardines, and salmon, as well as from vegetable oils and nuts. Skin anatomy. The skin is an ever-changing organ that contains many specialized cells and structures. It functions as a protective barrier that interfaces with a sometimes hostile environment. It gathers sensory information from the environment and plays an active role in the immune system, protecting us from disease. The subcutaneous layer is a layer of fat that lies between the dermis, or skin, and the underlying fascia. Subcutaneous fat insulates the body, absorbs trauma, and stores reserved energy. The subcutaneous layer is located approximately 7 to 10 millimeters below the surface of the skin. Why do we store fat? Fat is stored in the body when there is an excess intake of calories. When one's diet provides the body with more calories than it needs, the body stores the excess energy in the form of body fat. Our bodies tend to deposit fat according to our individual genetic makeup. Hereditary characteristics may dictate the areas of your body that accumulate fat. Where do we store fat? If you are a typical female, you will accumulate fat predominantly below the waist in the gluteal-femoral region. The gluteal-femoral region consists of the lower abdomen, buttocks, hips, and thighs. This can create a pear shape. The typical male body tends to accumulate fat predominantly above the waistline around the midriff. This can create an apple shape. Interestingly, fat cells typically do not generate after puberty. As your body stores more fat, the number of fat cells remain the same. Each fat cell simply increases in size. The removal of excess fat is by a reversal of the processes that store excess energy. If you increase your physical activity and do not increase your food intake, you will draw the extra energy needed from your stored body fat. To maintain our current weight, we must consume a caloric intake equivalent to our body weight in pounds multiplied by 10. For example, a 120-pound female should consume approximately 1,200 calories per day. For each pound of body fat we hope to lose, we must remove 3,500 calories through diet and/or exercise. How does fat enter our bodies? Triglycerides are formed when a single molecule of glycerol combines with 3 fatty acids. Triglycerides make up most of the fat digested by humans. They are the main constituent of vegetable oil and animal fats. When we eat food that contains fat, it is absorbed through the digestive tract. Several hormones are secreted in response to changes in blood sugar, which can cause the body to use the fats as energy or store them for later use. Insulin, for example, is a hormone that has an effect on the metabolism and several other bodily systems. Insulin causes the body cells to take up glucose from the blood, storing it as glycogen in the liver and muscles. Your weight is determined by the number of calories you consume minus the energy you expend. Remember that as your body breaks down fat, the number of fat cells remains the same, while each fat cell simply gets smaller. When hormones signal the need for energy, fatty acids and glycerol are released from triglycerides stored in the fat cells and are delivered throughout the body. The body has a physiological predisposition to balance its energy needs with its desire for food. The hormones and brain communicate to determine when an individual is full. The brain issues a signal that says stop eating with the help of the information it receives from the hormones. Prolonged food shortages, chronic stress, a sedentary lifestyle, and other factors can affect how the brain orchestrates this balance. The brain will often respond to stress by encouraging the intake of high-fat and sugary foods, comfort foods that can result in obesity. The ideal candidate. The Lapex 2000 BCS is the ideal treatment for all body types when combined with appropriate levels of exercise and a healthy, balanced diet and lifestyle. The Lapex 2000 BCS mobilizes fatty acids and works synergistically with the body's natural weight loss mechanisms. BCS treatments have the advantage of being able to specifically target those troublesome areas and lose inches. Individual results have varied, with some clients experiencing dramatic inch loss in a series of treatments.